where he'd put a stick or whatever to drink the juice out of this coconut without wasting the moisture within inside, which we can't afford to do.
In 2014, Cody Lundin was filming Duel Survival in Patagonia when his co-host pulled him aside. Joe Teddy showed him disturbing photos and made a chilling threat that haunted Cody for years. The cameras weren't rolling, but crew members saw everything. Cody tried to report it, but the network buried his complaints. They wanted drama, not safety. When Cody finally spoke out, Discovery fired him and painted him as unstable. The lawsuit that followed revealed shocking secrets about reality TV that changed everything. Cody Lundin came into the world at 8:15 in the morning on March 15, 1967 in Prescott, Arizona. And from the very beginning, his life moved in a way that never stayed still. His father served in the U.S. Air Force, so there was no such thing as settling down. For the first 12 years, every few years brought a new assignment, a new country, a new set of rooms, and a new routine. Cody learned early that home was not a place, but something you carried inside. He watched the world change around him faster than most kids ever do. And each move sharpened something in him. He had to adjust. He had to study people. He had to depend on instincts more than comfort. These constant shifts quietly shaped the survivalist he later became. When he turned 3, the family was posted to West Germany. The winters there struck him hard because they were nothing like the warm Arizona mornings he was born into. Snow, thick ice, silent forests, and sharp winds wrapped around him. He spent his days outside, wandering around the military housing blocks while soldiers trained nearby. He watched them, fascinated by their discipline and preparedness. Since the family did not carry piles of toys on each move, Cody filled his hours watching the way nature worked. He played with sticks instead of plastic action figures. He learned how cold bites skin and how a forest sounds when you stand still. By age 5, when most kids were still clinging to their mother's legs, he already had a strange sense of independence that set him apart. When they returned to the United States, back in Arizona and Wyoming, the family kept bouncing between bases. Many of these places were far from towns, which left Cody alone for long stretches. The desert scrublands became his playground. He started building tiny shelters made from branches and rocks. Some collapsed, some held. Each failure taught him something new. He stayed quiet about these experiments, but they fed a growing hunger inside him. He was learning how to make life work with whatever he had, and he was only a kid. Things grew heavier around age 10. His father began taking on high-stress deployments, and the long absences left Cody with a knot of loneliness he did not know how to explain. So, he coped the only way he understood. He began foraging on the base grounds, picking berries and even insects, trying to see what nature offered. It gave him a sense of control when everything else felt shaky. He wandered deep into the wild patches around the bases, studying plants and animals with the focus of someone twice his age. These small discoveries lifted him, teaching him that survival was never just about food. It was about finding strength when you Feel abandoned. Everything changed again when he turned 12. His father retired and the family finally stopped moving. They settled in Laramie, Wyoming. The cold there was brutal and the landscape seemed endless. But settling down did not make Cody feel rooted. If anything, he felt an even stronger pull toward freedom. Soon, he ditched shoes altogether. Walking barefoot made him feel alive, connected, and alert. At first, people stared. Kids laughed, teachers complained. But Cody liked the way rough earth shaped his feet and sharpened his attention. By the late 1980s, he wasn't wearing shoes at all. A choice that confused almost everyone except him. By 1980, when he was 13, the barefoot habit had become a quiet rebellion. He walked through snow and gravel without flinching. People called him the hippie kid, but he brushed it off and built underground forts in nearby forests. Instead, those hidden spaces helped him breathe when life at home felt tight, especially as his father struggled with PTSD after years of military service. These forts were escape rooms long before the world called them that. They gave him peace and taught him to rely on himself. 2 years later, in 1982, he joined his school's outdoor club. He hoped to finally learn survival skills from people who cared about the wild the way he did. But on the club's camping trip, leaders ignored the clear signs of hypothermia. As temperatures dropped, students shivered and panicked. That night changed him. He realized that trusting others with survival could be dangerous. He quit the club soon after and started teaching himself fire making. He stole steel wool from the garage, grabbed flint and steel, and practiced until sparks felt natural. These moments were small, but they became part of the backbone of his later teachings. In 1983, he pushed himself further. As a junior, he often skipped class and hiked alone into the Medicine Bound National Forest. On one of those trips, he got lost for 48 hours. No map, no compass, no plan. He survived on pine nuts and stream water. He faced fear, hidden, alone in a space so wide it swallowed sound. When he came back, people looked at him differently. Teachers and students respected him not for grades, but for something far deeper. He had lived through something most people only read about. By senior year, he felt stronger. In 1984 and 1985, he created secret survival circles in the woods, teaching friends how to trap small game with handmade wire snares. These meetings were quiet acts of resistance. School officials suspended him after he refused to wear shoes during winter PE. But he didn't care. He cared about the woods, the traps, the lessons, and the sense of community he built with the kids who didn't fit anywhere else. These days revealed a natural leader rising inside him. In 1985, he graduated with average marks, but made a choice that shocked everyone. He turned down college scholarships. He ignored paths that others said were safe. Instead, he hitchhiked across Wyoming and learned to identify 20 edible plants. He slept in ditches. He ate what he could find. He pushed himself toward a life that mirrored his instincts, not the expectations around him. Later that same year, he moved to Denver. He arrived at 18 with nothing more than a guitar and a duffel bag. For 3 months, he lived in alley brush piles, surviving by dumpster diving and taking odd jobs. He often earned knives as payment, which he used to practice carving survival tools. The nights were freezing. Hunger became his teacher. Fear stood close. This stretch nearly killed him, but it also transformed him. He began to understand that survival was not only about the wild. The city had its own rules and dangers, and he needed to learn them, too. By early 1986, he drifted again. This time into a radical commune near the Mexican border. He was 19. The commune had rules about chores, food, and shared life. But their idea of harmony felt soft to him. He preferred the hard edge of solitude. So, he built his own debris hut from palm fronds and lived apart from the group. The hut stood firm against desert nights. It was simple and rough, but it was his. He learned from the commune. But he also learned that independence mattered more than fitting in. A few months later, he floated between friends' backyards in Prescott, Arizona. During this time, he saved money from construction jobs and bought his first bow drill kit. Fire by friction became a nightly mission. He tested the bow drill under stars, sweating, failing, and trying again until sparks came easily. He also audited ecology classes at the community college, absorbing information without chasing grades. These moments built him. Each fire lit in the dark made his confidence grow. When he enrolled at Prescott College in 1987, he was 20 and still refusing the comfort of walls. For 2 years, he lived in a brush shelter he built on the outskirts of campus. He cooked over open fires. He ate mosquite pods and acorns. He studied depth psychology and watched his own past unfold in new ways. Everything he lived through began to make sense. This blend of wild living and inner study shaped his philosophy, mixing survival skills with emotional insight. These years laid the foundation for the survival school he later created. Then came 1989. At 22, he embarked on a 72-hour solo vision quest in Sedona's Red Rock Wilderness. He fasted without food or water. He faced the sun. He faced silence. He faced himself. Hallucinations came. He spoke of ancestral guides. When he walked out 3 days later, something inside him had shifted. The quest cut through the noise of his past and showed him the path ahead. Cody Lundin was only 23 in January 1991 when he started the Aboriginal Living Skills School in Prescott. He had just $10 saved from odd jobs that barely covered rent. Still, he believed the idea would grow if he stayed patient. So, he began with free pop-up classes in local parks where he taught fire by friction. People watched him twist sticks until smoke rose like some ancient magic coming back to life. These early classes were small. Only 12 people showed up that first year. But they came because he promised something real. No gear walls, no action hero. tricks, just pure skill. Step by step, he turned these moments into a school that felt different from anything else in the country. Most survival schools chased military toughness. Cody taught barefoot in the wild and showed students how survival came from mindset and patience. By summer 1991, he felt ready to offer his first paid course. It was about shelter building in the Arizona desert, and it drew 25 people ready to learn how to live with almost nothing. He walked them through 8 kinds of lean-to shelters made from saguaro ribs and yucca leaves. Some were good for the sun, some were better for wind. A few were strong enough for long stays. Students built them with their own hands and slept inside them to understand what worked and what fell apart. The difference was the way he taught. He wanted them to feel the night, the silence, the mistakes, and the calm that comes only when you stop fighting nature and start working with it. Word spread fast. Soon, people were telling friends that Cody taught survival by living it. In late 1991, something unexpected happened. A rancher near Prescott needed better emergency planning for his workers. Cody helped him for free, and the rancher, impressed by his skill, offered him a small patch of desert land in exchange. That land became the first real home of ALSS. Students came there to camp overnight and learn how to turn cattail roots into flour the way native people had done.